Hi friends, I have another craft for you today. Today we are making pressed flower lanterns. Isn't that cute? You saw it in the intro with it lit up, but it is so pretty. Hope you can see this. So that's what we're making. All we need is a smooth jar. I'm gonna use a little squatty one for this one. So just a smooth jar that's wide mouth so we can put a tea light in there. You can use fake or real. And then we need some pressed flowers. So I found these on Amazon. Whoops, I couldn't find them in a local store, but I've been told that they're in some craft stores. But this is what's left over from this craft. I'm gonna use the rest on this jar. So they're real flowers. They're very delicate, so that's probably the hardest part, is the real flowers being super delicate. So I'm gonna pull those out of these plastic bags that's trying to keep them together and not falling everywhere. Woo-hoo. There is a plastic cover on top of the ones I've got, so they're not just loose in this bag, and that is super helpful. So they don't go flying, which these are trying to fly. All right, they're very delicate. Or you can make your own. You can have your own flowers and press them. That would be awesome. These are super delicate, so we need some Mod Podge. I got a little brush, so I can do this. And then I have twine or jute. It's my favorite. We're gonna tie a little bow around it. So let's get started. So sometimes when I use Mod Podge, I will cover a whole big area of my workspace with the Mod Podge because, you know, it doesn't dry super fast. But I am wanting to not do that this time. Get my little cover off of here. All right, I was hoping I'd have some on this lid. That's what I'm actually going to use, or at least start using. I am going to figure out what flowers I want to use, the area it'll take up, and then I'm going to just cover that spot. So I'm going to start with flowers. Again, super delicate. This little yellow one wants to go on. I know it. So let me pick it up. So it's about this big. So I would take my jar and see where I want it to go. And then I'd put a base layer of Mod Podge on there with my little brush. This might not be the best project to have the big sponge brushes. I mean, if you're careful, you can do that. I've only put it on a small space. I'm gonna take my little flower and lay it where I want it, press it down, and immediately I'm gonna put another layer over top. Super easy. I'm going the direction of the petals. So I'm laying them down. I mean, I need to be super careful is what I mean by super easy. I need to be really delicate with my paint strokes, but I want it all covered up. Just like that, and it sticks great. So I am planning ahead. I have like 4 big flowers and then some small flowers. I am going to put the big flowers on each side because I don't really have a square, but you can envision a square. So, but I'm going around as I go. I'm not going to skip around. So I want to put a little flower up here. So I add just a little bit more Mod Podge. And I have these little cute little orange one I'm going to use. If I can pick it up. I got it. And I am going to have it up high. If you can see that. Oops, super delicate. So I've got it on there. I'm lightly putting another coat on top. barely touching the flower so it doesn't fall apart on me. And that's it. Can you imagine doing that with flowers that you actually dried? That would be so cool. I don't have any that I actually dried, but that would be so cool. So I'm picking up this little, well, let's see, which way do I want that to go? I want it to go to the left, so I'm gonna spin it around. So again, I got these at Amazon, and they came with like 8 different packs of flowers, just like I showed you that we had. Different colors, so you can mix match if you want. Each pack has its own theme, so if you want to keep it that way, you know, as always, your craft is your craft, so whatever you're seeing and believing. Also in that pack is got my next flower. Greenery, which I had and I showed you. Let's see, is that on upside down? Nope. There's a pink flower. So here's a trick. If your flower has petals on top of itself, go up underneath each petal and put Mod Podge on so it will glue to the petal that's underneath. That'll just secure that it won't come off. And that's it. See how simple this is? But so pretty. Let me put this on. So I'm going all the way around. Need some more punch. I'm trying to make it go flat on the jar. I got a little squatty jar, so I'm not going very high. If you notice on this other one, I have some things up a little higher, but I want a lot of empty space. I do not want this thing all cluttered up because I want to see the candle through it. So here's a white flower. I'll place on right here. Make sure I get up underneath my petals if they're laying on top of each other. Just like this. The whole thing, even the center, needs to have a coat of Mod Podge on it. The center of your flower. It's not touching anything, I know, but it still needs to go on there. Now, any of these long ones, I'm trimming off. Got a pair of scissors. That's too long for my jar, so I'm just gonna snip off some. You actually don't even need scissors. They're so frail, you can just pinch it. I'm gonna lay this one this way, because that's so pretty. So if you notice at the beginning of this video, the title page had the candle lit. And that's what it really looks like. I didn't put any effects on it or anything. And it was in a, the lights were off. It was in a dark room. So that's what it's gonna look like. And when you do your own, you will have, you will see this neat pattern that emerges when we cover the whole thing with a cover layer of Mod Podge. So this little white flower, I need to put some up underneath in between my petals, because there's a few of them that are laying on top of each other. All right, I'm all the way around. Do I like the way that looks? Have a few more pieces, but I like the way that looks. We'll save those for another project. So they're all on here, right? I'm gonna set that for a second, let it dry for just a minute. while I clean this up. All right. Now, for the top coat, I'm going sideways. You notice for the bottom coat of the Mod Podge, I am just doing the little space and then going around the direction of the flowers. But for the top coat, I want all my strokes to be the same direction. So I am choosing sideways. And I did that on this one as well. So if you were here looking at it, you can maybe see some brush strokes that are going left or right, sideways. Everything is consistent. They're all the same. So that when the light comes through, the whole jar will have that effect. So I'm even starting up here at the top with the rim. And for sake of television, not making this craft too long, I'm not waiting for it to dry. But a good idea is to let it dry. It doesn't have to dry all the way, but let this first round of Mod Podge dry a little bit so that it looks smoky and it's tacky still. You don't have to dry it all the way, but there's no danger of you picking up the flower as you're going sideways. I'm just being super careful, so hopefully I won't move my flowers. And I'm going all the way around horizontally, left to right. So far, so good. No flowers being picked up. All the way around. And then the last step is to let it dry and then put your jute on. So I'm going to take the jute off of this one and show you how to do it. Off the first one, because I didn't glue anything. But I want to show you that step. But the Mod Podge needs to be at least in the tacky stage before you put the jute on. Doesn't necessarily have to be dry. It needs to be in the tacky stage where it looks smoky. You can sort of see through it. All right, I'm almost all the way around. Ooh, I can see the end. So finish up this top. And over my last flowers, which happen to be the first flowers. This is the first flower I put on, I think. Nope, maybe not. All right, let's see. A little bit down here. And the work is completely covered with Mod Podge all the way around. Whoops, fingerprint. All the way around. The first time I did this, I did it all the way around on the base, let it dry a little bit, then I did the top. So whatever you want to do, rim. So now we just sit and let that dry. Ta-da! It's finished, right? And there it is. So this just dried. I didn't add another coat. All I did was put a tea light inside. And then this is how I did the jute. Now this is just around twice. Let's do one that's around 3 times. This has a wider rim than this one does. Oops. This one is this tall. Oh, maybe not. It just looks like it is because it's on a squattier. It's on a squattier jar, but oh, scissors. Okay. Whoops, my tea light moved around on me. This is why you might want to have a wide rimmed jar. Then you just find your center. And you know what? I don't know how long it goes. So just find your center and pick which side you want to be the front of your vase or your lantern, and you start from the back side and then crisscross and go back. Crisscross and go back as many times as you want. I have a lot of string, and then you just tie a bow. I think I'm gonna go back one and we'll just do 3. We'll go around 3 times. I'm going to cross it like you would a shoe to let hold, and then just tie a bow. Trim off your ends however you want your ends. And it's around 3 times. You go around as many times as you want, whatever looks good to you. I think that looks cute. Make your loops as big as you want. I'm gonna cut off the edges, the little strings. And there you go. Aren't they cute? You can do all kinds of things with this. You can make a centerpiece. You can just put them up on your mantle. They're just really cute for spring. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And then if you have one of these, you can just reach in and light it. I don't think we'll see that on the video very well, so I'm not gonna bother. But there you go. That's it. Pressed flower lantern. Yay. Thanks so much for joining me. Isn't this pretty? And I hope you make one yourself. And we'll see you next time.